This is today we will cover TableSprint concepts. So basically, what is Chatbox and prompting in TableSprint, then the worksheet as a data store, fields, forms, views, web page, micro app, work agent. So these are like 6-7 concepts we will cover. If you look at Chatbox and prompts, basically TableSprint agent uses various LLMs to achieve specified tasks and features. TableSprint agent can think through requirements and plans data store, data views and forms. And then it also generates a beautiful admin, which lets you manage your entire app. And then it will always work you as an assistant to work on your command. So that's the chat box. And then we will see what is worksheet and other things in later. So let's go back to TableSprint and see how the chat box looks like. Okay. So this is the chat box. So this is one of the application on which you have this chat box where you can see that the prompt is given and then the agent has made worksheets, forms, cards, and etc. For the app. You can go and chat more. Okay. You have a lot of other options like you can give it a screenshot and it can follow the instructions, right? So you can give it a screenshot, then it can set your specified instructions which can go again and again with your more requirements which you will chat with it, right? So that's the chat box. Okay, we will go back and now we will see what is worksheet. So the worksheet is basically the foundation of data organization in TableSprint. So think of it as a smart database table where you store and manage your information. It stores structured data like in rows and columns like an Excel sheet. Okay, and it supports multiple data types. It works as a data source for your entire web app. All your views, all your forms will get data from the worksheet. So let's quickly go and see how the worksheet looks like. So if you go to admin here, you can see the worksheets, right? So here you have it. This is an activities worksheets. This is a deals worksheets. This is basically a CRM web app on which these are the worksheets which will store the data. So deals will store deals. Okay. Contacts will store all your customer contacts. Okay. Revenue tracking, again, how much revenue you are forecasting with the client, right? All those numbers crunching you can do on this worksheet, right? So these are like 3-4 worksheet examples. You can start adding data through the worksheet using add, and which will give you all the fields to be entered. Or if you have an Excel, you can just import an Excel to the worksheet. If you have a simple Excel with you, you can just go ahead and create as an add worksheet, a new worksheet directly from an Excel. Okay, so you can just go select upload and choose an Excel and then you can create the new worksheet. Okay, so that's the worksheet which will hold all your data, and this works like a complete database, backend database system for you. You can store millions of records here and it will just work, and it will scale with as much data as you have based on all your business processes. Okay, so let's go back to the next concept. So next concept is basically fields. So what is field? So we have already seen fields in the worksheet. Like you can create different types of columns. Like in Excel sheet, you can create a number column, a text column. So here you can create all those text, number and all, but you can also create special columns, right? When I say special column means I will just show you in the sheet. So here if you see the different type of columns, right? So this is like email column. I can go and edit. So this is like a type email. Okay. Email column. So if choosing email, then nobody can enter a text field into the email. So it will validate your email type, like it should have an add character in the entire text box. So that's how it will validate the email field, right? You can have a phone field. You can have a drop down field. Drop down field is a special field where you can just keep different options which a user can choose while filling the form or interacting with your web app, right? So this is a drop down field, right? Now there are a lot of other different field types which you can look at. Okay, so you have text, email, numbers, phone numbers. You can also create a rating field type. You can create a percent field type. The auto number field type is again another field type which you can use, like when you are creating your invoices, when you are creating a sequence contracts, right? So you can just use an auto number. TableSprint will take care of generating a new number for a new ID for each of the contract or each of the invoice. Okay, you can have audio fields like where you can just your user can from your mobile, you can just record, and it will save as a recording into your worksheet as a field, right? You have image field where you can just upload images. Okay, the date, the time, the drop down we already seen, right? You can also have a formula fields, right, where you can just go and write formulas, right? So you can write formulas in the formula field, and you can do A into B, A plus B like in Excel sheet. But you can make much more complex formula than normal Excel, and it can scale, right? So it can scale with your data, right? And your users can be controlled on different type of formula fields, right? So like if you want to calculate an invoice amount, right? So the overall amount plus the tax part of it plus the shipment part of it, you can use these kind of formula fields there, right? And every record, anything which comes inside gets tracked by an audit trail type, right? So you have a default created time, last modified, or who has interacted with your system, right? When your system was updated, right? All those things gets automatically tracked by TableSprint. You can also create a vector field, right, where you can keep your embeddings and all. And then TableSprint also let you do create a location field, right? So you can you can in location field you can keep your latitude, longitude of your location, right? So from any map tool you can use Google Map also here, or any other open source map like OpenStreet maps you can use, and you can use the location field to show all your office locations, to show all your routings and all, right? So different types of fields, right? So fields are very important concept in TableSprint admin, which TableSprint agent will create for you, right? So let's go back to the next concept. So next concept is forms, right? So forms is like very normal forms, like we all use Google form, and we are aware of like you. So it can be used for the survey, it can be used for taking up the data from the candidates, it can be used in recruitment, it can be used for to collect your client data, right? So forms have various different types. It's a type of an UI. Okay, so you can create the TableSprint agent will give you a forms, and you can also go and edit the forms, create new forms in TableSprint as per your requirements, right? And the whole layout and everything is very much customizable. We will just see how one of the form in TableSprint and see how it looks like. Okay, so I will go back to the TableSprint and then I will show you. So let's say in the contacts you have sheet, yeah, I have forms. So let me click on the form. There is an add contact form. There is a contacts form, right? Here you can see I have a full name, email, company. You can collect the data like from lead source. So you can just drag and drop. You can put your lead source here, right? And you can edit it. You can design it as per your wish, right? You can also design the form, right? You have a lot of validations, default fields, other things, dependent fields in the form. You can do like somebody is filling the lead source, then he has to fill the email also, required, not required. Lot of different types of field control you can do in TableSprint forms. Based on your requirement, you can just ask the TableSprint agent on Chatbox. It can update the form for you, or you have a very granular control. You can go and edit your forms, right? So this is the form, and you can also share the form as a normal form. You can just share the link with the form, or if you want to use the form into some third-party application, you can just embed it. So it also gives you an embed code, right? And the access and etc. we will cover in some other videos, right? But you can create these forms, right? And forms also have themes. You can put themes, background themes of the form, right? You can style it as you want, right? Either way, right? So this is the form concept of TableSprint, right? Now let's move to so far. Let's just do a quick summary, right? So what we did so far, that we covered the chat box, okay, and then we showed that you can keep a worksheet where you can have all your data. Now in the worksheet you can create with Excel, or you can have different data field types, and then you can add it, right? So you can have your attachment type, image type, and all. And then to get data into this worksheet, you can create forms, okay? And form is nothing but a UI component for TableSprint agent, which it will use while creating your final web app, right? In which you will use the forms, right? So form is one type of UI. Another type of UI which we cover is basically views. So that's our next concept. So let's look into the views concept, right? So what are views, right? So on any web application or website or mobile application, whatever data you see, whatever the UI you see, are mostly either form or views, right? So the most popular type of views are basically card views. There are Kanban views. There are like charts to show your data, right? And there are reports types of views, right? So some of the views part type we have so shown here. So basically different ways to display and interact with your worksheet data. Views transforms raw data into meaningful presentations. So view is the another concept. Let us look at how in TableSprint it looks like. In TableSprint again, I will go to the view section here, right? So here you can see the contacts cards view. So this is like one type of card view, right? You have let's go to the deals worksheet. So now you have a deal status report, right? So this is the report view, which is telling you how much deals and all. And these all are like different types of views which you agent will create for you in TableSprint. But you can also go and control these views. You can change the design, change the layouts of these views, right? Or you can just ask the agent to do it for you. Okay. The other type of views, let's say the chart view, right? So you can see we have a chart view here, right? So I can go and change it, right? I can remove the horizontal to vertical, right? You can see it's a chart showing a different type of view. You have bar chart, you have line chart, you have pie chart, right? So you have line chart, you have a pie chart, right? So all those type of charts views you can create. So these are like we saw card view, we saw chart view. You can also create Kanban view where you can drag drop from one status to another status. You can create a Gantt view. You can create a calendar view, right? So all these views you can create or the agent can create for you as per your requirement, right? You can even create a chat view, a web page, a map view also you can create. So in map view, you can use, as I mentioned earlier, you can use a Google map or an OpenStreetMap to show your data, right? So map view will show the whole map and all the data points to that, right? Even web page view is another type of view which we will cover in next concept, which combines all the forms and all the views together and make a website, right? So that's the web page view. So let's go back and see how the web page view looks like. Okay, so our next concept is web page view itself. Okay, so what is web page view, right? So it's a complete HTML page. We are writing HTML page, but it's based on a React and Tailwind. Okay, so it's an HTML page which combines all the forms, all the views, and show it to you at one place, right? So that's the web page view. You can embed forms, views, or any other component to web page. You can put a JavaScript. You can put a lot of calculations on web page. All the web pages are like fully responsive and customizable. You can just click and edit web pages, right? So let's go back and see one of the web page view, right? So if you go to the preview here, so preview will show you. So this preview is showing you a lot of web pages, right? So one is dashboard, one is contacts, right? One is deals, right? And one is activities, right? So these are like 4 different web pages which you are seeing here. So this is like dashboard, right? And now this web page you can go and you can visually edit it, right? And you can go and check it, right? So this web page is keeping your forms, views, and other data and putting it at one place, right? And what you want to do, that if you want to change the web page, you can directly change the code of the web page for the design. So there is a code part also. Like on dashboard you have the code, on contacts you have the code. You can change by the code, or you can just ask the agent to change it for you, right? And then the third way which you can use to change the web page layout and design, you can do a visual edit, right? So if I click on the visual edit and I go and click on the contacts management, so you can see here. So this is contacts management. I can go and remove. So it becomes contacts now, right? And I just go and save it. So my contacts page has become like contacts. I want to change it here, manage your contacts. So I just want to keep relationships, right? So you can do all this on web page using visual editor. Visual editor also lets you do the card views, to change the card view, the designs, right? So you can play with the card view designs also, like and your code here, right? Or the forms here, right? So let's go back to our next concept. So this video is just to cover our main concepts of TableSprint. So let's go back. What's next? So next is basically micro app. So what does micro app do, right? So micro app primarily gives a navigation bar to all the web pages which you have created, right? And it also allows you to put up a login control to make a web page which is viewed by somebody, by your admin, and not by your let's say end users, right? So those kind of control you can do using micro app. We have already seen one micro app in our last one. So this whole thing, right, we call it as a micro app. If you go to the admin, you can see that CRM management system. So that's the micro app. It has 4 web pages: dashboard, contacts management, deals management, activities. So you created one web page view, then you created one micro app, and then you added it here, right? And then you can just again drag drop on your micro app all the web pages here. Micro app also comes out with the menu option, right? So where you can see the menu, dashboard, contacts, deals, and all. You can go and change the settings, designs, and everything, right? So you can design, like, you can put your logo, everything, right? So that's your micro app, right? And you also get to change, right, your a domain, etc., right? So if you have a domain, you can go and set up your custom domain, and you can do a lot of other things at a micro app level. So that's your micro app. Now we will go back to and micro app is the main app which you can use, share with your users, share with your visitors, and micro app also comes with a link. Now we will move to our last concept, which is called agents, right? So let's go back and see what agent does. So agents are also called as work agents in TableSprint. The work agents are nothing but it could be a simple workflow, or it could be a workflow using an LLM as a brain, right? So the AI agent helps set up automations and workflows, including using LLM models as an agent, right? You can create work agent using natural language. So you can just tell our TableSprint agent to build a workflow, like, somebody fills a form, please send an email, right? Or please send in WhatsApp. If somebody, a lead comes in, please assign this lead to somebody in my team, right? So those kind of flows, those kind of agentic flows you can do. If a lead comes into the system, you can think of, like, please score this lead using a ChatGPT LLM, or you can use a Claude LLM, and then score this lead, that how much it's applicable to us, right? You can even write scrapers, everything, right, on the work agent. So let's go back quickly to the work agent and see how it looks like. So here we go to the agent, okay? And here in the agent, like you see, like I already have an agent, which is like a form submit. So my contacts form gets submitted, okay? Then please send an email to the person who has submitted the form. So I just chose, like, from where I will send, to whom we will send, the BCC, the subject, the content, right? Now this works like a trigger action basis, right? So if you go and click on this one, right? So you have a lot of triggers here. So you already have one trigger, form submit, sitting here, and then you have a lot of actions here, right? So actions could be like one email action we are using. You can use WhatsApp action, okay? You can use update row action, right? You can use an LLM action. So LLM action will help you use any LLM, right? OpenAI, Anthropic, any model of Anthropic. You can bring your own API key for those models. You can give the system prompt, you can give the user prompt, and then just it will work. You can enable search, and it will work on your own data, right? So that's the LLM prompt. You can also create embeddings using vector columns into this one, right? And then there are a lot of other things, like you can call any API, get the data from the API, put into your worksheet, make complex workflow. So TableSprint lets you build any complex workflow which you can imagine in terms of UI, in terms of backend and database, and then in terms of agent, right? So this is like a basic concept video where we covered today. So I will just summarize what we covered, okay? And then we will close this video, right? So what we covered here, right? I will go back to the admin. We had one admin, okay, where you can keep all your worksheets, right? And then all the fields, different type of fields, different type of worksheets. You can even join the worksheets. Everything is available, and these worksheets are nothing but a Postgres database, which is like a scalable, and it will work with any kind of SQL operations, right? So we covered the worksheets admin, okay, and then we covered the chat where you can just go and instruct. We covered the visual edits, right? And then we covered the web page and micro app, which shows you your final app, right? Based on the worksheets and different views, forms, and all, right? We also saw the code of the web page and all, which you can do, right? And then we covered the the agent piece of it, right? Where you can create automations. The automations can be like the approvals also can be part of the automations. Maker checker could also be the part of the automations, right? So in today's video, we covered the basic concepts of TableSprint. I hope you liked the video. You can subscribe our TableSprint channel. I will keep updating more videos around how to use TableSprint to your best use case. Keep building. Thank you.